Hello everyone, so I didn't get a chance to go live yesterday. I certainly don't want to do that every day, nor do I often post them on Twitter. However, I do want to talk about something that was said by Joe Scarborough from the Morning Joe MSNBC show. Um, he posted a tweet to an article from the American Conservative talking about how smartphone culture impacts young men in the most profound way. And okay, I get it. He's like an older guy complaining about the younger generation. But then he said something very, very strange. He quoted that tweet and said that young men in the 1940s liberated Europe from Nazism and the Pacific from the Japanese Empire. Today, too many stay home playing video games. And I had absolutely no idea where to start on this tweet. My first impression was that he was nostalgic for a time when young people felt like they didn't have a choice but to fight and destroy this incredible evil that had taken over Europe, that had taken over the Pacific, and we were faced with genocide, with war-torn cities. And it was one of the darkest times in human history, really. So I don't think, it's great. We have to honor and appreciate their sacrifice of those World War II veterans, but we also must recognize that this should not have happened to begin with. Young people should not have been sent to die in this war. They shouldn't have had to do it in the first place. And that same could be said for Vietnam, for all the modern wars that followed, Iraq and Afghanistan. And I think it was also a very, very big mistake to compare Iraq and Afghanistan to what World War II was about. It was absolutely disrespectful. So we see Joe, like, the rest of his whole Twitter feed is just him trying to defend his comments, and I'm reading them, and I tried to get his side of it, and I really don't see how. Basically, he went and called millennial soldiers the bravest among us and things of that nature. He said, like, okay, yeah, I know a lot of millennials are served. And you know what? A lot of us do. Millennials are there. They're there fighting right now, and they have been. It's not like we'd rather stay home and play video games than go fight and die in a war, but okay, it is kind of like that. And really, isn't that what you would prefer? To have young people be young people, to be in school, to have fun, to have a life, and at least play Call of Duty, and maybe look forward to World at War coming out in November. Isn't that better than a real war? Isn't that better than having to liberate Europe from a fascist superpower? At least I think so. In my opinion, usually I would appreciate Joe's comments, but not in this case. Now, Joe is considered to be one of the more vocal conservative opponents to President Trump. Joe was a former congressman, or Republican congressman, and right now he's basically been sitting back saying, where's my country gone? What happened to my party? And yeah, it's like, Joe, your party didn't change. Their policies really didn't change that much. They're just more obvious now than ever. You knew what your party stood for. You knew that they still do. They didn't really move. Well, yeah, there was a right-wing insurgency, but the general basics of it is no, the party did not move that much farther to the right than they already did. So I really don't think that Joe is even much better than President Trump in this respect. President Trump actually got into a Twitter conflict with Senator Richard Blumenthal from Connecticut today for misrepresenting his military record. As we know, Trump was drafted but received multiple deferments for having bone spurs. We know how Trump feels about veterans, especially saying that John McCain's only a war hero because he was captured, attacking the parents of an army captain killed in Iraq. So it's really, we know how Trump feels about the military. So this whole started because Senator Blumenthal said on CNN that he supports like this whole Russia investigation into the 2016 election and the meddling there. So Trump comes out obviously on Twitter while he's on vacation in New Jersey, about 40 minutes away from where I live. He's on vacation, he's golfing, there's no meetings and calls going on, he's on vacation. So he called Senator Blumenthal a phony Vietnam con artist, saying that never in U.S. history has anyone lied or defrauded voters like Senator Richard Blumenthal. Now that is a lie because Donald Trump has done that on so many levels. First of all, I don't think Richard Blumenthal has a lawsuit for creating a fake university and defrauding all those students and then settling that lawsuit, because, you know, of course that is what happened. He set up a fake school and defrauded all these students who were looking for an education, and Trump scammed them. Not only that, but he also defrauded the millions, tens of millions that voted for him. So that's an obvious case of the pot calling the kettle black there. Now, I don't know a lot about Senator Blumenthal or his military record, but I do know a lot about this president's history. I know his military record, which is way less than impressive. I know his record with keeping his promises and defrauding voters, which is also less than impressive. So those are like the two main things that that happened on Monday that I would like to talk about. So we'll see you later this week, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, mostly whenever something important happens. So thank you for watching.